No, you're doing it all wrong, Mommy. Just follow after me. You get it now, right? So don't forget. Mommy. What? Such a shame that a blade tempered to such ruthless sharpness was used to cut away her own mind. Your baby is still at that house. Ain't that right? What baby? So the lines I learned to draw were connections and not boundaries. Now, I watch from outside the clue the moments that have slipped past me. When the end brushes past the beginning, I will take you in my arms and bear you home. Ryoshu? Are you alright, Ryoshu? Ryoshu! Come on! Hmm? Oh. I am fine. Ryoshu closes her eyes shut, then opens them up again. Some time ago, at the laboratory. Why did the nurse father create a thing like you? The same people who used to complain day and night about what a pain it was to look after me are keeping now underlings? Children. We are their children's. So, what roles are your children's about to play? Yoshihide, the day you return to the House of Spiders, we, the 5 children's, shall bind together the thread that you have slashed to pieces, and complete the clue. The clue? The nurse fathers of the house were beside themselves with concerns, Yoshihide. Were you to return home having forgotten even the time you had spent at their sides? It would feel as though all the years put into nurturing and honing you would have just gone to waste, they say. I didn't know they call their errand boys their children's now. What they call us is immaterial to the relationship that we have shared with them. No, it got a different type of echo. The bond between a child and the parents is much thicker, firmer than that. So much so that even after I have mutilated my own mind with my sword, a shred, or rather a thread of something, still remains. Yet, my master tells me that she has tended to you enough for all the time that has passed. Tended to me? Yoshihide? How does it feel to be living fetter? Fetter? I am barren from enjoying the fresh air of the outside world. No longer free to travel the mountains and cliffs as my feet would carry me, as the other members of the Pinkies are. I wish to no avail that I should be allowed to weave the delineation of wings and backstreets. I don't really understand what you mean. You don't? I'm saying I did not endure my grueling life only to be trapped here as your nurse father. Well, what do you make of this, Yoshihide? Stifle your crying. What makes you think you have the right to shed any sort of tears when I am the prisoner here? If anyone has a reason to cry, it would be me. Ever since you were pushed into my care, not a day has passed without me wanting to cry. My knees. Mommy, I scraped my knees. Keep your brawling out of my sight. Snotty, sniveling little brat. You disgust me. You would have gone hurt if you weren't such a slow dollard. Next time, keep your eyes open and dodge before it hits. Maybe, just maybe, if you had a leg ripped away from you. Then you would also taste a drop of the scribbling agony of my imprisonment. Wanted to cut away her leg? The hell is wrong with you? That woman was the one who hated me the most. she blamed me for her fate. Yet, in the end, Yoshihide, it is thanks to her that your mastery of the blade has been cultivated to such a degree, enough to parry both this humble blade of mine and the Bruder's sword. The man blocked the ring's apprentice blow as though it were a performance meant for Ryoshu. Ryoshu? I know there's some bad blood involved here, but I guess this is our chance. Let's pull out while they are busy fighting each other. We need to go after the one who swiped the barrows, right? Yeah, her whereabouts are unknown. However, this is indeed our chance to hie away from here in order to recover. We made our escape through another route, where the ring and the Pinky's apprentice were busy fighting each other. The technique that he used was that hers, you know, the Pinky's nurse father's. Yes, it was one of my gaudy out memories, but clashing blades with him has reawakened it. The nurse fathers wanted me to learn every single one of their techniques. That Pinky lady too, she sure hated me alright, but that didn't stop her from teaching me what she knew. Probably to make me a more prolific, more efficient killer. And that is why losing me was such a harrowing failure for them. All the work they poured into me slipped right through their fingers when I have decided to leave the spider's nest. Well, love-hate can play out in all sorts of ways, I guess. They're all connected, right? Your memories. Did you hear them away by yourself? Yeah, with my own 2 hands. I was reminded of the expression that I saw on Ryoshus' face in one of the memory fragments. When she sliced off the Pinky's nurse father's tongue. When she drove the blade that she has never unsheathed before us into that woman's mouth. What I saw in Ryoshu was the expression of suffering. Every time I draw this blade and cut something, I'm also slicing away a piece of my mind. That is the reason I didn't want to use this blade. But had I not done so, they would have taken her away from me for good. And one last thing that Ryoshu didn't want to let go. The word that came out of Li Hing's mouth the moment that we saw her. Your child. It was for her that Ryoshu sliced off both her own memories and the Pinky's nurse father's tongue. My blood, my ward, my daughter. Li Heng said that she's still there, you know, in the House of the Spiders. Yeah, in a place that only I know, in a safe that nobody else can find. So, what was your daughter to you? I don't really see why I should play coy at this point. The one and only precious thing that I possess. She's all that I have. Even without her memories, Ryoshu spoke without any sort of doubt. I caught myself thinking how nice it must have been to have such certainty. I see. Well, as long as we can stick to this path, we'll eventually find the thing that we've lost, right? Right. I know that. Come on, let's go after them. With the elevator still busted, they couldn't have possibly escaped to a different floor just yet, right? Yeah. The Golden Barrow. It is faint, but I can still sense its presence. Maybe they know that as well. Maybe they are trying to use the Golden Barrow in order for us to lure us into a certain area of the facility, right? Pretty sure they would be willing to do so. They've already done so before with the lab. They knew that we would try to go after them. Right? That is why they waited. Why they waited for so long for us to arrive. That is a very precious picture though. Look at her. It's her, the daughter. Aww. Okay, but first and foremost, I guess I have to clean up a little bit more of these Picatulas are currently on our way. Yeah. There we go. Not so bad. Not so bad. Basic Rigger actually has a couple of very interesting features that he can do, considering how slow he usually is. He draws all sorts of attention away from us, and then he just blocks for the entire team. It's great! Oh? The new hires? Wait, what is this? We continue towards the corridor full of corpses and debris. Well, here's hoping that we come across someone else who's still conscious. Kinda like Alisa, right? Yeah. Ow! Hey! You stepped on my hand there, mister! Well, speak of the devil. Oops. My bad. Hey, wait! Was that a survivor speaking just now? Yeah? Everyone turned around, hearing the alarm in Gregor's voice. A lone survivor, the only one who seemed conscious amongst the bodies, crushed under the debris, was looking up at us with her face scrunched up in pain. Are you alright? I am not. It hurts so much. I've been waiting here for so long, but nobody showed up. No prisoner or something? Or is this some sort of ego gear? LCE. Uh-huh. Well, I was chatting with this person next to me just to stay conscious, but then he suddenly stopped speaking. It has already been 10 minutes already. We had even exchanged names. So you must be referring to this man here. He's pretending to be dead, but his pulse hasn't stopped. Pretending? What? The man in the suit stops playing dead and slowly opens his eyes. Seriously? Wow! I guess you got me. Well, chit-chatting about the food that we will eat once we get out of here, while slowly being crushed by the debris on top of us, is a bit, well... I mean, you know what happens to characters who say, once we survive this, right? It raises all sorts of red flags. Dead flags. But I wanted to have some vanilla ice cream with almost sprinkled once we, you know, survive this. And of course a sandwich too, with lots and lots of cheese. What about you, Ravi? You need a hand? Yes, please. Let's just get them out of there. Yeah. With the sinner's help, the two employees who've been trapped under the rubbles managed to break themselves free. Just my left leg, huh? I'm good beside of that. Ow! I think I broke my right arm. But give it a few days with lots of almond and fish, and it should be as good as new. Oh, thank you for getting us out of here. I am Sora. Sora, huh? We got to live another day thanks to you, I guess. And you can call me Ravi. Oh, by the way, may I ask which department you're from? I guess you haven't really seen us before. We were here for a checkup last time, you know? Oh, well, we are the new hires. This is actually our first day of work. Oh! And it starts with a catastrophe. Oh, how lovely. What a great impression you guys must have had. New hires. Yes, there were a new job post for LCE's and Caphelia's refinement departure. Today is day 1 of us new hires. We were on our way to see the researchers who were supposed to handle our onboarding. And then, you know, this has happened. This gear, it's my first time wearing it as well. The more I look at it, the more it intrigues me. So, how exactly did you get trapped under all of this debris? Pray tell, how did you get trapped under all of this debris? Well, I was just walking through the corridor and stopped for a bit. I'm always a total klutz, you see. Once I have something on my mind, I just can't multitasking at all. Well, I can relate to that. Researchers often sink into the fathom of their mind once the spark of inspiration has struck. I had this idea for an ego key experiment, and I couldn't move on without first getting it sorted out in my head. Ego gear, you say? Might you be referring to the shackles around your wrist? That's right. It's not the weirdest, but my one and only ego. Let's see. Cut the fluff and just get on with it. Sorry, so it happens out of nowhere. We heard a loud noise coming from the other end of the corridor. People started running, and then, that is when the ceiling just collapsed. If only I hadn't zoned out back then, I wouldn't have gotten caught under all of this rubble. Well, I wouldn't really go so far as to call you lucky, but getting trapped under this rubble might have actually saved your lives. At least from the intruders who attacked the facility. They already killed a lot, and I mean a lot of people. What? Well, we were trapped? My condolence. I regret that I have no further words to give. Are you able to find, any other survivors? An approximation of 20 remains. As fortune would have it, the team leader and the rest managed to regroup. That's a relief. And you, are you certain that you are well? It is quite remarkable that a newcomer to a corporation remains so composed in the face of such a crisis. Well, I get trained for situations like these, so I wasn't entirely unprepared. Just never really thought something like this would happen on the very first day. Still, that is pretty impressive for a new guy. In any case, where were you heading? Oh, right. We are currently looking for the elevator. I think it is somewhere in this direction, but I'm not really sure. Oh, the elevator! I know where it is. Could I, come with you? Lead the way.
Wait, what is? These components. What time?
Wait, I think I just heard a voice from the other side of the radio. Is it your team? The call is breaking up again. Kinda seems like we've gone past the transmission radius. I wonder how the others are faring. Well, I hope that I can get an update about my colleagues as well. I'm with you on that. The two LCE researchers sighed anxiously as we hurried to the elevator's direction. At the very least, we are no longer all by ourselves. Right? At least we have found some allies. Pretty sure they can't really help us out though, because, well, they're new. Not even sure if she's used to your ego yet, which may pose an issue. Ego distortion is always a thing around here. Okay, first and foremost, we need to handle more of these pickup blobs. Oh god. Right, Gregor. And here. The audience. Who are we supposed to meet? Are we going to talk to the ring lady again? Or maybe another one of the fingers? Or maybe we are even going to swap teams, sir? The others are struggling as well. Look at Hornheim, he's covered in blood. He's not a fighter.
How? The others?
These components should cover what we need for repairs. But the transmissions are just getting harder to make out. Not surprising, considering how far the distance between the teams have grown so far. And the survivors, as in nary one in this sector, incredibly. Again, hardly a surprise. The state of the bodies is there for all of us to see. Faust believes that there's no feasible way to aid them under their present conditions. So it doth appear. Verily, this team must be the most saddened by this tragedy. I beg thy pardon for raising this matter. Hey there. now we just have to get back to the facilities management rooms, right? Right. It should be right past this corridor. What the hell is Heathcliff doing? He's dashing around the room. Assistant, pacing about distractedly and scratching one's head out of cluelessness are all behaviors prohibited in our research facility. Oh, and also, frowning and cocking your head like that and blurring out "her" at the scenes are all likewise forbidden. No, I've just got a very bad feeling about this. Something is definitely off. Oi, stop! Don't go out yet! There's something outside. Oh. Oh. It's the ring. Oh god! And they are so tall! Oh, perhaps I can let the blood vessels relax and expand. Yes, that is a lot better. You were right. We would have run straight into his arms if we had left the room. Based on the circumstances that we have faced thus far, it is reasonable to conclude that this individual's affiliation lies with the ring. A nurse father has to be that strong like that lass who nicked off with Sharon. You people, where's all that confidence that you had when you beat the daylight out of me during the monolith experiments? Oi, why not putting it like that? You will give people the wrong ideas here. Besides, we were beating the daylight out of your distortion and not yourself. Well, not exactly beating bloody hell, but you get what I mean, right? The extension of the physical trauma sustained by the corpses on display indicates that the odds of prevailing in combat against him are quite minimal, especially without Dante and his regenerative powers, Hohenheim. Faust does not advise initiating a battle that cannot be won when we are completely cut off from Dante. A usage of identities is not amongst our options right now. Engaging the enemies now will only serve to deplete our numbers. And with so little information on the enemy, sustaining a lethal injuries that we have no means to treat will make the Mansion Esquire behold the cold, lifeless form of young Sinclair upon their return. And the cold, lifeless form of Don as well. Boss, if he keeps lingering out in the corridors, it's going to be quite a problem. We probably run into him on our way back to the facilities management rooms. Oi, how long do you reckon you're going to take to fix that nagging device or whatever that is? Given that the attacks resemble a facility sabotage, I will need to inspect each component separately instead of treating it like a regular malfunction. I cannot be sure of anything before I see the extent of the damages. Yet, even in the best case scenario, I don't expect the repairs are going to be done in a short order. Pretty sure they made sure of that. Damn it, Martin! Didn't I tell you plenty of time that non-standard energy redistributors are a nightmare for maintenance? Oh, well, you're the one who designed the sector of the research facility, boss. I just followed your orders. This must have been during the week leading up to my report's deadline. I'm confident I made the most of the limited time I had back then. Any chance that we can buy ourselves a bit of time? You know, if we were to lure him a little bit away? I'm considering 5 or 6 possible options. Though, if I were to recommend one, then we have her take off those shoes. No! No, we can't! We can't do that! She can't control herself! And imagine all that blood! She's going to go into a frenzy! That is out of the question! What? After all that mess that we went through last time? We don't even have Virtueless with us in order to stop her! Without your access to the identities, the only viable combat option is my ego gear, and its chance of defeating or killing that man, who is most likely a maestro of the ring, is hardly promising. If need be, I shall step forward. I will do it. Don, I ain't having that. We've been in worse trouble than this, haven't we? And sure, I thought about checking off those stinking shoes a fair few times as well. But we can't do that to her, can we? I have said this time and time again. Roginante's self-cleaning function is always active. But let us put that matter aside. I would rather eschew relying on my blood fiend's power, yet we are left with no other recourse. And I have faith in you. Faith that my companions shall bring me back. Oh. Faust seconds Heathcliff's opinion. The plan to have Dawn remove her shoes is rejected. While there are several reasons to discourage that idea, the chief amongst them is that Dawn must not dismount Ryoshus. You believe her unbound power to be insufficient to overcome this obstacle. According to the test results, she has demonstrated combat abilities that were... No, having Dawn remove her shoes to resolve this predicament is not an unrealistic scenario. However, that Flo would be a choice that distanced Dante from the journey in order to retrieve the Golden Burrows, and even if we were to entertain Hohenheim's suggestion, the removal of Dawn's shoes must take place as a result of the manager's decision. Hold on there, please! This all happened too fast! You've really got to start elaborating on stuff like that! An illustrative example. In the event that Dawn fails to control her impulses and proceeds to create kindreds and bloodbags alike, there is the possibility that she will be unable to return to her current self, no matter how many times Dante turns the clock. If a sinner cannot be restored by the manager's power, it is effectively tantamount to failing the retrieval of the Golden Burrows in this world. Such an outcome would prove a decisive failure on my part in proving that... I understand! Rejection it is! Let us just move on to the next agenda then. Are thou sure of this though? We possess no fitting means to strike the villain down, are we? It was simply a proposal, a plan A to tackle the situation. Frankly, I wasn't really too eager myself to risk gambling on odds in an environment with so many variables beyond our control. Well, whatever plan you got in your mind, please do it quickly. I don't really see the point in shoemakers right now, but he has to be around. As for plan B, I buy us some time while you people help Marin repairing the devices. If I raise the attunement level of the shocked Centipede ego gear, I should be able to move for a while, even after my heart has ceased to function. I'm not exactly in top shape after these fights, but with luck on your side, I might even be able to knock him unconscious with enough voltage. Says the blog who probably hasn't even been in any sort of rubber brawls before? You have fought an adversary wearing an ego gear before, haven't you? These gears can make up for a lack of combat experience. It's true. This isn't an argument here. We'll stall him. You work on the repairs. There's no need for you to risk yourself. Even if we pop our clocks, Clockhead will come back here sooner or later. And then they can just bring us back. Even if we end up becoming one of these horrific exhibits. Right? Correct. The degree of pain accompanying that process, however, will far exceed the usual range for both the individuals concerned and Dante. It is preferable that we avoid such a development. Who knows if we can endure that? Clearly, you are all underestimating the amount of firepower that I can unleash, were I to fully equip my ego. Still, perhaps it is for the best that you remain uninformed. You're coming along too, aren't you? There's no point staying back to fix that thing. Whoever designed this did a remarkably superb job. Having a genius like myself repair such a second-hand piece of equipment would truly be a waste of my talents. Wow! Well, so she says, but to clarify, This isn't second-rate in the slightest. It was the best design attainable given the time's constraints. In other words, it was the optimal design we could have managed at the moment. I leave this matter to you then. Let us all meet again in sound form, as we did in our last misadventure. Young Sinclair, art thou well? You go and hold him off first. So, if you need a moment to get your head sorted, then by all means. No. I can't just keep wandering around aimlessly like this. Wandering aimlessly. What are you doing? What just happened? Of course. Sinclair? Bloody hell! A gallery that has achieved the macro opum of aesthetic needs not bother sending out invitations. Visitors will naturally come pouring in on their own. Oi! You reckon that we came all this way just to look upon those useless rubbishes? I don't know much about this whole art thing, but even I can tell that this is the worst bloody exhibit that I've ever clapped my eyes upon. Well, in that case, it seems that I must play the curator myself, for our young and foolish guests. Just as I taught you, Shahida, from kitchen to avant-garde, with each trend of art's movement engraved into every chunk of meat. A gallery tour narrated by the maestro himself. You ought to feel honored, really. He's giving us a tour of his artworks? Well, that's definitely going to give us some time. Question though, is he going to pick a fight with us, or are we just going to play hide and... Are we going to play hide and seek with him, huh? Okay. That is definitely a way to avoid what a store for time. On the other hand though, maybe we're playing hide and seek with Kira. Right, she was luring the bear to us. Seriously? You're really going to play dirty like this? I was trying to wrap this up, so I'll be done right when Papa finished the execution. And you know, it was a lot of fun playing hide and seek for the first time in ages, but I'm getting really bored of it by now. Well, we somehow managed to shake off that nurse father too. But this one is still chasing us here, all on her own. That smoking pipe that you mentioned during the briefing. Your ego, right? Is it not ready yet? It needs some time. Which is why we gotta buy the time that she needs. What do you think of my workshop weapons collection? I'll be generous this time and let you put them up to use. How about that? You mean that collection of too tricky to be used weapons? You're certainly a talent for impracticalities. Perhaps it's an impressive assortment for a collector's point of view, but in terms of efficiency and effectiveness, you would be better off fighting with your bare hands. Look, I had zero ideas things would blow up into this bad of a mess, alright? I just wanted to show off a bit since, since we finally met the LCA team. That is why I only brought the most unique and hardest to get babies that I had. That one there. What sort of sword is that? Oh, that is the Messless Workshop Broadsword. Ever used one of these before? Nay, I was not in a position to obtain or use any sort of workshop gear yet. I'm merely asking for I am in need of something to replace my broken sword. Oh, I mean, I don't really mind lending you one, but that stuff is not really easy to handle. See, compared to the Alan's workshop, Mathilde's is... I am aware. Often did you speak how their weapons dart around as though they have sprouted some wings, dragging the wielder around. Yeah. Is that really a thing? Is the weapon that heavy or something? Wrong not. I'm quite confident in the art of swift blades. As Salsa must never lose her grip on the blade, though her very arms be torn apart. Okay, she seems very determined about this. Reinforcement might be a bit of an overstatement here, is at this rate. I know Dante isn't here with us, but how about we step up for ourselves? My physical strength has gradually recovered throughout our journey with the executive manager, but my skills and prowess have yet to reach their original potential. Oh, by the way, did we have any new words from the Golden Bureau team yet? No response from the transmission. Damn it! Even with the executive manager leading them, those unreliable troops have finally proven my fears right! Oh, come on now! With my sword! You sang! Ryoshus! And a veteran of the military! We were fine! We were fine! Hey, it just might be a bad radio signal, so please, take it easy. Oh, I'm getting sick of playing hide with this Kindle nonsense! Drag me into a hide-and-seek crap, huh? You guys are the real bullies here! Do you know that? I'll count to 10, and not a second more. You got this! 8, 9, 10! Here I go! Did you just skip all the numbers? What do we do now? Luring her to another distortion or abnormalities would be the best bet. It wasn't efficient enough to stall the nurse father too, at least so far. A few hours ago. Woo! Is that still our guy? The sparks seem different. Would you look at that? Oh, Papa! I thought you had finished them all off by now. Or did you perhaps leave these ones for me? Wait, aren't these guys you worked earlier? Oh, is this like some kind of 11th hour superpower awakening stuff that I saw on TV? The impossible comeback free epic return from the dead. So what? It will only take a single blow to... Oh! Neurosis, hysteria, distorted pain tend to manifest in the form of electricity. The human thunderbolt. I thought it would be sufficient to buy us some time. Human thunderbolt? Oh, these corpses. They're not moving on their own. Hey yo, kiddo! Do you see that? Huh? Wait, see what? I don't see anything. Oh, you don't? You really don't see it? Ah, shucks, kiddo. You're gonna work harder if you want to be as sharp as Ryoshus. Now open your eyes and take a closer look. Do you see that purple flash? It's that thing there, bouncing around and pouring electricity current into these bodies. His instincts are just as animalistic as his appearance. Moses, we have secured the escape route. Yes, in that case. Whoa! Team leader! Angdu? You've got good reflexes there, for someone who dresses that shabby. She actually blocked that, huh? Was wise of me to take the time to observe his form. The aftershock had quite the force. Lady, I mean, team leader, are you unharmed? Well, thanks to you, yes. Let me help you walk. Keep the pressure on the wound to staunch the bleeding. Let us fall back post-haste. Hey there! Where do you think that you are going? I think you guys might be a little bit busy here. What a clinging bastard! Looks like they keep coming until I kill that sparky guy. Princess, go ahead and chase them down for me. Red? For real? Can I also finish them off? You bet. Papa's gotta do some tidying up around here. Let's see. My little girl's hands are hurt. Rule of the book. Special clause on the House of Spiders. Article 1. Paragraph number 12. applies in its entirety. Wait a minute! Are these clowns with the jackass who snagged Ricardo's hair coupon? Man, just thinking about my bro running around rocking some bristled-ass hairstyle cracks my heart in half. Between what they did to my bro Ricardo and the wounds that they've inflicted upon my daughter's hands. That is complete and total extermination. Agreed! So he realized that, even though Heathcliff isn't even around. Back to the present. Judging from the one freed from the containment and the traces of escaped entities that I saw on my way here, we are in no position to be picky about our options. What other options do we even have? I would much rather have formulated a plan around the distortion delivered to the LCE with our own hands than using these abnormalities. But that is not an option for us at the moment. With that in mind, we are essentially down to one option. Our current plan. A hollow beckoning, nostalgia and constriction, and then absorption. What? Wait, you don't mean... Yes, the abnormalities whose spine never releases their hold until its pure white body of cotton is stained blood red. We'll make them face the drenched gossypium. Oh. Well, bleed is definitely effective against the thumb. They go for all sorts of combos, and the gossypium is a master of applying both bleed count and bleed potency. But I guess for now, we have to worry about the shock centipede first. Oh yeah. With the other guys, at least. Ah, Gregor. Maybe I will stick with Rospinner Gregor after all, huh? If we have to fight abnormalities with a squad of 4, then we need to make the most out of this. Definitely. Oh, that's... Oh, an abnormality. That is the shock centipede, wasn't it? It is the same entity that we've repeatedly encountered during our passage through the dungeon and the refracted railways manager. Which means we already know how to defeat it as well. Though our means of dealing with it may mirror what has come prior, Dante, complacency will ill serve us. With the current disorder permeating this place, the equivalent inference may even fail to function reliably. Meaning, it's just gotten a little bit stronger. So, we gotta stay sharp during the fight. I get it. Zora, Ravi, please get behind me. Okay? Don't you worry. The centipede is pretty much the same as always, isn't it? Be wary of the head and its immortal body. Isn't there a trick to how to kill it without it getting all these charges? Oh, I don't remember. I usually like to skip that guy because I always messed it up. Well, either way, for now I'm just going to destroy the body. If I notice anything new, I'm going to cut right back. Ooh, okay, this is kind of bad, actually. This is kind of really bad. Well, I guess Gregor just has to die. I kinda wish I could win any of these clashes, but I have a feeling that's really possible right now. Maybe if I were to debuff them. Yeah, if I were to debuff them, that could work. But Gregor's definitely dead. There's nothing I can do about this. Gregor's so dead. At the very least, I can get a more key or ego resources, and I can bind it. The bind is definitely going to help us out. Maybe. You only lost a singular charge. yeah, about that. Hoping for the best with avoids. Just got debuffed again. Debuffed body. And it's still in the red. Okay. Well, I'm just going to hope for the best then. Am I actually going to die because that thing just rolls 20 and 30 all the time? Is that actually a thing now? Why does it even have so many high counts? Doesn't make sense the slightest. I can't even avoid it. I can't even avoid it even if I wanted to. Oh wait, it's getting weaker. I can actually clash now. Okay, I am going to clash. Kinda wish I could clash with somebody else as well. Wait, I can clash, but it's not going to end well. Well, I needed to use up all of his charges. So my sword, you kind of have to tank that one. I'm really sorry about it, but you just have to tank that one. Actually speaking, you were able to lower the damage by a considerable amount of hits. I like that. I definitely like that. Okay, well, good luck, my sword. May you be blessed in order to survive this couple of hits. Otherwise, we might have to repeat this fight. There is a way to stop him from self-charging. I just don't remember how it was done. The attack boost is extremely dangerous though. The 30 hit counts. 30 rolls on almost all 4 of these hits. That is quite something. And I didn't even complete my clear condition. I didn't even clear my complete condition. 10 turns, sir. 10 turns. What is this? A second wave? This is a rematch? Of the Centipede? Okay. So, alright, just one more guy. His bot gets staggered, and there's no way in hell that he's actually capable of surviving like 3, 6, 7, 8 hits. 8 hits! There's absolutely no way that that guy can survive 8 hits. Oh my god. How much sanity do I even have left? I'm running dangerously low here. Oh. Well, lucky for us that the next thing doesn't really ask us for any sanity, huh? Some kind of contract, huh? Alrighty. Let's see what that's all about. Are we back to one of the other spots, or are we still handling Dante's situation? Still not getting any sort of signal. Yeah, none here either. We've got no way to tell how everyone else is faring so far. Well, I won't really assume the worst. No news are also good news, right? But Miss Eliza, she waits on my mind. Would that we could find a solution before that spiral bursts any sort of deeper into her heart. A spiral? Oh, you mean that workshop-made weapon, right? The one that needs a password to unlock. You know of them? Indeed. A troublesome thing. I know the basic principle behind it, but the only person who would know the password is the one who uses it to stab the victims in the first place. But I'll do my best to look into that. Oh? Oh, that would be a big help. So, Sora, I guess you're into workshop gears or something? Hmm? Yeah, it's been my thing for ages. Probably the only reason why I was even hired in the first place. Oh? Then what are you doing in the LCE? Shouldn't you be in the LCA, you know, with combat experience? Hey, rookie. Huh? You're blocking my view. Back off the line, Scoots. Oh, sorry about that. Your view? At Ryoshus' bruised order, Ravi shrinks back awkwardly, his expression turning a little abashed. Normally, Gregor and Yaseng would have given Ryoshu a verbal nudge or two for being so rude to someone we have just met. But as things are, well... They simply watched on as Ravi steps back and casually moves forward to fill his spot. Are they surrounding her? Alright then, Sora. Why did you just come forth with me and talk about the shops, sir? We're not nearly as well versed in workshop gears as you think. Oh really? Sure, I like talking to people. Well, I do as well. Ravi, was it? You two seem a little too eager to acquaint yourself with novel technology, as befitting a researcher of scholar disposition. You have to go to another corner though, because right now we're very interested about the Sora person. You say just shoved it to the side. You and I, together with Dante, ought to exchange views regarding that. But why? I think they have a strange feeling about her. Something is wrong. Yeah, but why? I'm pleased that you share our enthusiasm, Dante. Now come, between the three of us, I'm quite hopeful that we should be able to engage in an academic discussion of unfathomable depth. I found myself suddenly being swept into Yiseng's somewhat awkward and hastily improvised academic symposium, trailing a pace behind Gregor and Sora. Oh, you're all so kind. Thank you for being so nice to me. I just like nice people. My co-workers aren't like that, you see? So I tend to feel, left out a lot. I'm pretty sure they will shoo me out again for spacing out and falling behind. Oh, come on. There's no way they would treat a surviving researcher that badly after what you have been through. It's not like you botched an important mission or anything, right? I would say you're in the clear. That's true enough. Gregor's word brought me back to all the plans that we've messed up. Saudi's plan, more precisely, and left a tingle of regret in my mind. I guess they must be your leader. You're bad at reading people. Wait, are you saying that I'm not leader material here? I'm saying that you're more than just a leader. Couldn't really imagine Ryoshu meant what she said, but I nodded anyway. I concur. Oh, I thought so. They really are your leader. A leader should be someone that you can't quite read. Yes. It's even cooler when the leader got a mysterious aura about himself. Is that so? Wait, why are you getting all shy for? That's actually why I decided to join up here. I was previously in a fixer office, you see? But I guess you could say I got scouted. Scouted? I come to think of it, the 12 of us were also scouted by Miss Faust, right? True. And Miss Ryoshu, did you also receive a promise from Miss Faust? Yes. I'm rather ashamed to admit, but I will say it nonetheless, as the scabs of time have grown over it. I don't really think I truly believe what Miss Faust has promised me would come to pass. At least not wholeheartedly. At the time, I thought it was nothing but a far-fetched dream. Had I possessed a little more conviction, perhaps I would not have spent so long having surrendered myself to the sinking descent. You, on the other hand, though, never seemed to doubt Miss Faust's words since the very first moment you have boarded the bus. Yeah, Ryoshus came off as the team's loose cannon at first, but turns out she is the person who really had her act together. Oh, yeah, looking back, Ryoshus never once turned down a job, even though she always looked reluctant as if she were only going through the motion. Contract or not, I doubt she would have gone this far with virgins and me if she only half bought into that promise of having her wish granted. It's not like I believed it from the start. It was simply that I couldn't not believe it. White hair. This was how she started off. It's remarkable. It's remarkable that the thread didn't snap, that you're still holding on to that single strand. What did you see that makes you say that? The blood from the wounds that you've made, and the wounds that were inflicted upon yourself, form a crimson line. That place is a space only you can open. It may stand at the very heart of the spider's web, but they will have no way to unlock it. Allow me to tell you that you have made the most prudent choice, given your circumstances. Who sent you? I slashed my way out past the bastards who called themselves the Nurse Fathers. You think I can slice off the tongue of yours as well? I'm well aware. You even carved into your own mind to get here. You would not hesitate to kill me, were you decided that I pose even the slightest hindrance to your goal. But now that you've hidden the child in a place that no one else can open, all that's left for you is to wait for the day, so you can take her back. The wait will cover a span of time that isn't too short, nor too long. I imagine you leaned on the safer side when you set the dial within 5 years. Please come with me, and I will help you obliterate that house, and be reunited with your daughter within 2 years. Contract then. Who do you want me to kill in return? It's not killing, it's saving. Save. Face the sin. Save the ego. That is the first line that you must remember here in Limbus company. It's dizzy. Was that too difficult for you? It's just that this is my first sip in a long while. Oh. Is the place where you hit your daughter really is safe? Yes. That place is almost completely cut off from the flow of time outside. Something like a time capsule then? And you set the dial to 5 years. Interesting. Cut off from the flow of time. Was it made by teacup perhaps? Yeah, I tested it myself many times before. The countless experiments that I have done and the vows I've made should still be up there, somewhere between my shattered minds. That is why I was sure that when the time came, either the House of Spiders would follow the threads wrapped around my body to get me, or that I would follow it back to them, as long as this one strand of memory is lost, as long as the contract holds. Yeah, contract. It shall be fulfilled. In 2 years, huh? She set the timer for 5. But I guess she wants to play it safe. The earlier we save the daughter, the better, right? Who knows if there are any kind of side effects for being trapped in a safe for that long. But I have the feeling I am slowly running out of energy around here, huh? I can definitely do one more fight though before I take my break. Maybe we are able to reach another one of these. Oh! Maybe we are able to reach one of these bookmarkers again. But first and foremost, freaking butterfly!